go ahead and find an image. And I told you, find something that's not too intricate but looks halfway decent. You're going to go ahead and draw it out on here. I got, little details. It's not bad. All right, onto this scrap piece of paper. On the back of this, you want to burnish it with probably like a 2B or a 4B pencil, okay? Just find your pencil. You're going to go in here. You're just going to add a little layer of graphite all the way around here, making sure that you cover up all your lines. Take some toilet paper, too. You're just going to go ahead and kind of smooth it in. That just kind of helps get it so you don't leave any sort of marks everywhere all over this. Now, you want to go ahead and you're going to trace this out 7 times. Now, this is where it does get a little redundant, a little tedious, all right? But as long as you don't have that intricate of a shape, you should be perfectly fine. Now, when you put these on here, guys, you can put them in whatever order you want. Just make sure you keep in mind and remember which ones you haven't done. It's not a bad idea, too. I also have the elements posted on the poster in the back of the room, so you can always go ahead and kind of check that out. And if you want to go in that particular order, by all means, go in that particular order. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of finish this off right here. And I think a good one to get started with is the line, okay? Now, I'm not, and we don't want you to get this done in one class period, all right? I want you to take your time. I want you to be creative with this. I want you to think about, all right, how can I take this image and turn it into whatever I want to do, okay? All right, into those elements. Okay, I'm just going to finish this one off. Boom. So here's what we got. The first one is going to be a line. All right, I'm already thinking, well, what I want to do for that one, for this first section, is take some Sharpie marker. Okay, got an ultra fine tip Sharpie marker. I'm just going to go in here, you guys, and this is where it wouldn't be a bad idea just to kind of start outlining it to begin with. Okay, just kind of start outlining. All right, see what you guys can create with this. You want to kind of ad-lib a little bit, add a few other additional things that you didn't have on here. That's perfectly fine. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of add that through there. All right, obviously scales on here would be kind of a good idea, but I don't know if I want to do that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of add this in through here. But this is where also, too, think about how you can go ahead and thicken your lines up a little bit, okay? See what you got going on here. Kind of double this up a little bit more down here, thicken this up down below here as well. All right, we're going to go ahead, add this on the back side right through here. And also, too, you not only have your foreground shape, but you got your background. So that's where you want to go in and you say, all right, what can I do for my background? You know, what if I went in here and I created all kinds of waves? All right, just to kind of begin with. Get these kind of lines in through here like the waves. Ooh, that's kind of fun. All right, so go ahead and do this. And then maybe you want to go ahead and kind of add some of these bubble shapes, okay? All right, that won't be a bad idea either, okay? But once again, think about how you can go ahead, you can kind of vary this line up a little bit, maybe make them a little bit thicker up and through here, okay? And you're just going to go ahead and kind of fill that in, okay? But definitely think about your foreground space and your background space when you start adding the lines, okay? I'm not going to do any more with that. We're going to move on to the next one. So the next one we have, you guys, is going to be color. Now for this one, you want to think about what you can do for your complementary colors, okay? I've got my fish right here, and so if I take a couple of complementary colors here, I got my Prisma colors here, I got violet. So if I go with that, ooh, we're going to try this here. I got my violet, I got my yellow, okay? Now, when I do this, you guys, you can use other materials besides just Prisma colors. Might not be a bad idea to kind of go in here, maybe add a little bit of an outline with a Sharpie marker. All right, I think that would kind of gussy it up too. Like I said, you got some freedom to kind of do various things as long as you follow those requirements that were listed for you on the Google slide presentation. You should be good to go. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of add that in through there a little bit. And let's see, you know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to make my fish kind of purple. Okay, so I'm going to go in here. Okay, of course, this purple's not the darkest in the West. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to go ahead, kind of add this purple on the top here. And I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to slowly kind of bring it down to the bottom. Okay, we're going to kind of add it on the top here. All right, we're going to slowly kind of bring it down. I'm going to show you guys too how I'm going to kind of gradate this. I'm going to put a little gradation on the fish. Now, if you do gradation on the front or the background and the foreground, that's fine. You don't have to. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of add this. Just kind of slowly kind of drag it down to the bottom here. All right, fish usually on the underneath side, they're a little bit lighter anyways, okay? So I've got this here. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get a little darker color here. All right, this is kind of a little bit of a darker blue, actually a darker purple. I'm going to go ahead and kind of add this in through here. All right, so boom. Look at that, I got that darker kind of value on the top there. All right, it's getting a little bit lighter towards the bottom. Looks good. And then what I can also do too, oh good, I found one, is I got a white here. Okay, I'm just going to take a little bit of white. Sometimes the white's kind of nice too because it takes the Prisma colors and just kind of smears them in a little bit. All right. But it's a great way of just kind of shading with these and just kind of seeing what you can do. Seeing if I got a little bit of a darker, maybe a black Prismacolor. Oh, yep, I do. So I can even add like a little bit of black to this. Actually, it looks like a darker blue. Huh. That works too. All right, so I'm going to go and kind of do this. And right now, just in this little area, of course, I'd want to finish the whole thing off. I got a nice gradation, all right, just on this particular element, okay? So I've got that. Then what I want to do is this. I'm going to go ahead and take my color in the background. And once again, guys, this is where you can get kind of creative with this. I like kind of the whole kind of wave thing. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to create a bunch of these little waves. But I'm going to take each one of these little wave sections. All right, I'm going to go ahead and fill them in with some of the yellow Prismacolor. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of fill this in right through here. Got some yellow kind of going in through here. Uh-oh, it's starting to kind of break the lead here. I'm going to try to make this last here. I'm going to kind of alternate them a little bit. I'm going to see if I can find a different yellow. All right, once again, that's kind of achieving the whole gradation thing, but also, too, I got my complements going on. Ooh, here we go. We're going to try this, okay? Kind of what I call macaroni and cheese yellow. You call it warm yellow. All right, but look at that. I got that on through here. School bus yellow. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of do this. Now, of course, I'm going kind of fast. You'll take your time, do a better job, Mr. Carlson. But otherwise, it looks pretty good, okay? So look at that. I got my complementary colors. I got gradation, actually, in both of these things right through here, guys. All right, it looks pretty good, okay? Not too shabby. Okay, so we got that going on. Okay, all right. So my next one I have is going to be shape. Ooh, yeah. All right. So for my shape, this is where you can go ahead. You could use marker for this one, but you want to kind of simplify this and make this as simple as possible for what we have here. So, for example, I got this right. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to turn this into a triangle right here. Okay. I'm going to turn this into a box. Okay. Oh yeah. You know what? We're going to do a couple triangles right here. Notice I'm really simplifying this. All right. Just really kind of going kind of. Boom, we got something like this right here. All right, we're going to turn this into just a block right here. All right, and then you know what, we're going to go ahead, we're going to add kind of a circle up here. Boom, boom, just like that. All right, so I've got that. I could go ahead and kind of add maybe another little circle there. All right, so I went ahead, you guys, added these shapes in here to just kind of really simplify. Once I have that, then I can decide, what do I want to do? I could use Prismacolors, just kind of make them solid. I've got some markers here. This won't be a bad idea, too. I could go ahead and take some of these markers, kind of go on and add a little bit of color. One thing about markers that is a little frustrating with paper. Sometimes they get a little streaky. But if you got a smaller shape, a smaller area, by all means, you guys, you can go ahead and kind of add these particular colors in the way you want it. Now, if you wanted to keep this just black and white, that's fine too. But sometimes, like I said, it's kind of nice to add a little bit of color. Just kind of makes it look a little bit nicer. It kind of enhances it a little bit more if you want. Okay. So I've got this one right here. Oop, this one's running a little bit low here, but we're going to try to bleed this one out as much as I can. I'm going to put that next to there, but I'm going to put a little bit of orange next to this too. One thing about markers though too, you guys, these are water soluble, so if you do have a darker color and you put a lighter color next to it, make sure that you don't have them touch, because then they will kind of bleed into the tips, and then pretty soon, like if you have a yellow, it'll pick up some of that green or black, and you'll get it all over the place. All right, so I've got that started. It looks pretty good. I think I'll go ahead and kind of leave that there for now. So our next element that we're going to focus on for this next fish is going to be form. So for the form, you can keep this all black and white, or you can go ahead and you can add a little color to this as well. But what's going to happen is you want to, once again, take this kind of shape idea, break it down into these particular areas, okay? But then you want to think about, all right, what can I do to make this a little bit more three-dimensional, okay? So I've got this. So instead of these boxes here for the fins, all right, I'm going to go ahead, kind of give them some sides, kind of cube them out. These right here, ooh, could turn this into kind of like a little bit of a pyramid shape. All right, okay, that could be my form right there. That'd be kind of fun. Okay, and here we go. I'm going to go ahead and give this some space as well. So boom, okay. And of course, you know, for the top part of the head, by shading this, if this is going to be kind of more of my circle or spear shape, I can go ahead and kind of add a little bit more value. So it's similar to shape. It doesn't have to be. All right. I can go ahead and kind of try a few more different things here. Ooh, I'm going to actually add this one right here too. I'm going to make this one look like it's kind of more three-dimensional too. Boom, there we go. Okay, so I've got that kind of popping out. So once I have this done, then you want to think about, all right, adding shading or value. Now, once again, you can go ahead and create form by adding a little bit of value in here, which we're going to get to in a little bit as well. So I can go ahead and kind of shade this a little bit. You maybe use a blending stump to kind of blend this up a little bit. But the whole concept of this, you guys, is you want to make this look more three-dimensional. Okay? You want to have that three-dimensional quality. If you want to go ahead and use the Prismacolors, which a lot of the examples that I've seen have seen that, or color pencils, you can go ahead and do that too, okay? That's perfectly fine. You can go ahead and kind of add different value colors to each side, okay? All right, then we're going to go ahead and kind of change this. And once again, you know, sometimes it's not a bad idea to kind of go in here and add Sharpie. That just kind of helps clean it up a little bit more too. Okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of add a little bit of Sharpie there, boom, and I'm good to go. And that creates kind of that three-dimensional box there as well, and it has that three-dimensional form that's taking place. Okay? All right, so that's what we got going on there. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to stop right here. We're going to go ahead and add another video to this so that we can kind of add our last three elements, and we should be good to go.